Hi there, welcome to CrueltyFree Podcast. I'm Connor.
I'm Charlie.
And today, what are we talking about, Charlie?
I have a few things that I'd like to talk about, but first of all, I think it's appropriate to kind of address the lateness of this video.
To the 13 people who watch our videos regularly.
I looked at our thing, and the first podcast keeps getting more views. I feel like the third one could be doing better, but
because that was a great episode.
I loved it. Oh my god, the one at your at your
we were
folks.
just clicking and we were talking about some deep stuff.
It's so meaningful to me. Actually, I'm disappointed that not more people have seen
don't want meaningful. They want regurgitated shit. That's why Michael Bay movies are always at the box office doing well.
And Transformers.
Yeah, that's why the Emoji Movie made its money back.
I think, again, like I said in that first podcast, I'm going to fucking watch every Fast and the Furious eventually because they're fun, but I might pirate them. Because I don't think I want to pay money for them.
You can't just announce that you're gonna steal.
I think Caleb probably has them or something. I can watch them from his shit. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go onto Reddit or something. I'm gonna look up some ways to promote that video a whole lot because I put it on the front of the page. And tonight I believe Caleb is coming over and we can work on a new banner. For us as well.
Yes.
And I can just kind of tonight. I think I'm just gonna
take my drawing.
Right. That's exactly.
Because we need quick. While you're all watching this, we're gonna have a business meeting.
Yeah.
We need to monetize this motherfucker.
Right. I can do that too.
Yeah. And we need to get that logo much better. Much better.
Right. I have a cool program on my computer that you draw on the. It works like a tablet. I think Caleb can do something real good with that.
Imagine if we could make that a shirt.
Right, yeah. I feel so tonight I'm going to work on a new banner. I'm going to do some touch-ups on the page. I'm going to hit that monetize button.
Yes.
There's just a couple steps that I have to go through. Shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
And do some touch-ups like maybe a description or something like that, like some other cool stuff. And kind of find out another good way to promote that third one, because I feel like that one is so good. Someone, even if they hadn't seen any of the other podcasts, might go, these guys have some good points. They're very honest. It's candid.
What an insightful podcast we just listened to.
Exactly. I'm really proud of that one. But anyway, sorry.
I'm proud of the fourth one.
I like, because was that the fourth one with the skit?
That was the fifth one technically, but the fourth one never got uploaded, and
4.5 because
we don't need to go back to that one.
That was real.
We just need to reread the Gathering of the Juggalos description, and we're good.
Yeah, we are, for anybody, dedicated to quality.
We want our podcast to be good.
Right.
Even if it's not exactly high budget right now, we want what we have to be good, not just what we have.
I'm going to say I'm kind of glad I wasn't able to make it yesterday because the car's in the shop.
Yeah.
And I had forgot the webcam inside the car. And so if I had come earlier yesterday, because you caught us while we were at the store.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized I didn't have the webcam. If I had made it there before you got a hold of me, then this would have been an audio podcast. And however, I'm not opposed to...
Well, yeah, because...
I enjoy audio podcasts because for hours I have ideas. I might, if it was audio, I could bring like instruments or something and do sound effects.
Speaking of podcasts, check out my wrestling podcast. I'm going to be talking about the Mae Young Classic that's coming up. Super excited to be talking about that.
I'm going to put a link to your channel in the description.
If you don't mind, I'd like to use this as a platform real quick to discuss something about my wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
I did not upload a SummerSlam review because it just wasn't... There was nothing worth really talking about in my SummerSlam review. It'd be mostly complaining, and that's not a podcast I want to upload.
It's all negative.
No, I just didn't... I wouldn't necessarily say negative, just not, oh man, wow, this was cool. There wasn't a whole lot of that. The main event was great.
Okay.
But other than that, it was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. And
Well,
you can only, no, that would be the whole podcast. Is just me going, yeah, this happened. I don't know why.
what was the main event?
It was Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe.
I forget Brock Lesnar is a wrestler because I know him from MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's something I am going to talk about, however, in a little bit. I'm just going to finish this right now. Sorry for not having it up on Friday for anybody who was watching or waiting. We didn't stick to the schedule. Life shit happened.
Life happens, man.
Busy shit, crazy shit, kind of like makes you feel like lethargic. You know what I mean? Like, God, I just don't want to make it today.
Right. No, I hear you.
But besides that, I kind of want to start this off by first pulling out my phone and memorizing the time real quick. And I love Caleb because he and I, the first thing he sent me this morning, it was from at noon 30. He sent me this picture. I'm not going to show it, but it says Teen Titans was such an emotional show, and it's just a bunch of clips of porn. And that was the first thing he sent me. And so I come at him with this. With this guy, he just says, "My name is Saitama. People call me One Thrust Man." And we just have these. We just send them together. We're best friends.
Yeah.
I think it's heartwarming, the porn we send each other.
Yeah.
It's not even really porn. There wasn't nudity. There wasn't nudity in any of them. But you know what was happening. You know what was happening. Anyway, the reason for the season right now, for these 5 minutes, I might want to talk about it. I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial. I believe they're called hashtag honest tweets or some shit like that. I don't think The Princess Bride is a good movie.
I have a hashtag honest tweet.
Yeah?
I've never seen The Princess Bride.
Don't. It's bad. People are going to tell you all the time. It's beautiful.
You have to see it.
It's romantic. You have to. They're going to quote it at you endlessly, and not even the good quotes from it.
Just the one.
Just the one.
The one quote.
And then some people might even try and, especially with you, poke at your wrestling fandom and be like, Andre the Giant's in it.
Oh.
Andre the Giant's. He died before you were born.
Well, Hulk Hogan. No, he died 2 years after I was born.
Oh, cool. Anyway, Hulk Hogan.
Come at me with a wrestling fact.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan was in movies and I never saw any of them.
Like which one? He was in Rocky.
Rocky 3, Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny, and Santa with Muscles. Never saw. Mila Kunis is in Santa with Muscles.
Was Santa with Muscles a straight-to-video movie?
It might have been.
I feel like it is, because that sounds like a straight-to-video title.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
The Rocky 3 is a pretty good movie. I believe Hulk Hogan's name is in that movie is Sweet Lips.
Thunder Lips.
Thunder Lips. I love it. I love it. If only we would have known how weird he would get later in life.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because of the wrestling or because of the luxuriousness of
Now, when you say weird, what do you mean?
Like the whole sushi sex tape where he goes, he ate a bunch, he had a sex tape, and one of the quotes from it, which it's not sad or disgusting or weird.
First off, it was not a sex tape.
Yeah.
It was Bubba the Love Sponge filming him without his knowledge, fucking Bubba's wife.
Who's Bubba the Love Sponge?
He's a radio DJ.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Who trapped Hulk Hogan.
Whoa.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And put him in that situation.
Well, the filming, isn't that illegal? To film somebody without their consent?
I don't know that part.
I'm pretty sure it is. Like when like Dennis in Always Sunny, when you know how he has his little thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people have gotten arrested for doing that because you can't film somebody without their consent, and that's why people blur faces when they do like guerrilla filming for sketch comedy or something.
I don't know. All I know is he sued Gawker for all their money.
Did he win?
Yeah, he did.
Of course he won. Because it's illegal what the guy did. And it's illegal. Gawker was basically extorting him.
Gawker destroyed Hulk Hogan's career.
Yeah.
And he was able to prove it, and he took all their money.
And now he doesn't need that career anymore. He's got all of Gawker's money.
Well, he's Hulk fucking Hogan. He still needs that career.
Well, and people still like him regardless, I think.
Yeah. But we are not here to talk about professional wrestling. That's for my professional wrestling podcast.
I just like the quote where he like burps and he just goes, "Ugh, I'm gross." And I'm like, that's the most relatable Hulk Hogan has ever been to me.
I can't believe you watched that sex tape.
I didn't watch all of it. I watched up to that point because I knew that's when I wanted to come.
No! No!
So anyway.
Not on this podcast!
I feel like this is a little off the rails here. Princess Bride isn't a good movie. I'm going to tell you another hashtag honest tweet. Starship Troopers is a great movie.
Well, yeah.
I love it.
I don't think you can come back from what you just said.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. I come back from that every day. Just give me a 15-minute refractory period and I'll be down, son. I got it. I have no refractory period. I'm all sex. I'm not. I'm lying. Who am I kidding? But I feel like...
Come on, webcam. Get with the program.
Back to the... Is it out of focus?
It keeps coming back and forth.
Oh, no, it's just... It does that. It didn't take its meds today.
Yeah.
I feel... So, Starship Troopers I'd like to talk about.
Okay.
And not... Because I didn't come watching that video, and I feel the more I'm going to defend myself, the more it sounds like I did.
You definitely did.
I might have.
You probably did.
I'm an honest guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. But
I don't think you can dig yourself out of this grave, Charlie.
Then I'm going to stop digging that one, and I'm going to dig my Starship Troopers grave.
All right.
People don't...
Reading Rainbow. Da-da-da.
And we're back.
All right.
People don't like Starship Troopers.
I don't think... I mean, there probably are people who don't like it, but everybody I know likes it.
Really?
It's not a good movie, but it for what it is, it's enjoyable. I enjoy it.
My thing, because I'm some people might call me a snob or somebody who takes the fun out of everything.
Comes
or
during, the Hulk Hogan sex tape. Comes during the Hulk Hogan sex tape.
You might need to speak up a bit about that.
It's not worth repeating that you jerked it to the Hulk Hogan sex tape.
I did. Okay, maybe I jerked it to the Hulk Hogan sex tape. Maybe I let Caleb watch me.
Oh, man.
Maybe I was live streaming it to a bunch of horny old Korean men who just wanted to see a white guy get off to another white guy. But Starship Troopers, to me, is a beautiful work of satire. I think it takes the idea of nationalism and how dangerous it is. Like a fervent nationalist machine, war machine, and uses that in the form of of a campy action movie that ends up actually like resembling some political discourse. You don't believe me?
I'm skeptical.
Casper Van Diem is Johnny Rico in this society, Earth, in the universe of Starship Troopers. Everybody joins the army at 18.
Yeah.
Everybody, literally the first 2 minutes of movie is propaganda. Do you want to watch more? Even the little kid, everyone laughs at that part because the kid's like, I'm doing my part, and he has a big gun and a fucking thing. They glorify war. They glorify combat. Basically, they're just like, you don't win unless you've destroyed your enemy. And that's a society they live in Starship Troopers. So they start sending... So then the arachnids start fucking them up. And all of a sudden, I'd say it's an allegory for a lot of the wars we found ourselves in after World War II. Because somebody poses a little threat to you, and all of a sudden you're sending all of your children, your 18-year-old kids over miles away, in this sense, an entire solar system away, to go fight and die for what ended up being a race of arachnids that didn't want you to colonize their planets. That's my biggest point right there in defense of my argument. And then there's Neil Patrick Harris's character, who...
No.
Neil Patrick Harris's character, by the end of the movie, resembles an SS officer.
Oh.
He has the red armband, the black trench coat, the German-style officer's hat, and he's the fucking master interrogator. I don't think... In music, people always come up with their own meanings to songs. Like, oh, I think this song by System of a Down is about this. But in film, when something's in frame, it usually matters.
Yeah.
It usually was a decision by the art director or the primary director.
There's only so much room for interpretation in a movie. Absolutely.
And this movie, I feel like people, because it's such a blockbuster or flop, it came out when a lot of other blockbusters were going on, but and it flopped. People didn't... I don't even think it might not have made its money back. I could look that up.
Yeah.
But it fucking... People didn't watch it, and so now people have this perception of it where they're just like, oh, it's just another kind of like a butt rock action film about people being like, get some, and killing bugs and shit.
How do you like these nuts?
All of that shit is cool, but I feel the most important of Starship Troopers is its mockery of nationalism and how dangerous it can be.
You are the only person I know of who can make Starship Troopers secretly a deep political film.
Show me all of your other friends. I can convince them otherwise.
I don't know. I mean, you were trying really hard to convince me that Game of Thrones is set in a dystopian future, and I don't see it.
I understand. I understand that, and I respect that. I'm humoring. I humor fan theories. I don't outright believe in them.
I do not humor fan theories one tiny bit.
I think they make it more interesting.
I think...
But I won't go up to people and be like, oh, well, did you know that it's really meh, meh, meh? I'm not one of those annoying fan theorists.
Yeah.
You were about to say, though, before I interrupted you?
No, you're fine. I don't want to get back into the...
Yeah, because I feel like... Because we talk about it a lot. Actually, we bring up fan theories. And I believe what you were about to say is that you think that it detracts from it.
I think you're not the writer. Stop telling the writer what they're making.
There's a fun story. Fahrenheit 451?
Fuck yeah.
What was the author's name?
Ray Bradbury.
So Ray Bradbury, this is a story, a little anecdote from his career. He went to do a lecture at a college, and I forget which college it was, but basically a kid, one of the college kids, like, goes up and asks a question, and he says, so Fahrenheit 451 is about this, that all the high school stuff that teachers tell you that it's about,
right?
Or like allegories for stuff, metaphors for stuff, similes, whatever. And the kid names off all of these academic readings of the book. Ray Bradbury goes, actually, I didn't intend for it to be about those things. I thought it was more about this, 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 and this. And the kid just straight up goes, you're wrong. And that's where I agree with you. Because I'm like, you're telling the author.
That's why, like, I watch Rick and Morty.
Uh-huh.
But I don't invest myself into what I think is going to happen.
Right.
Because at any point, Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland can just go, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Right.
Morty dies.
Right. Oh, dude, yeah, they could do that.
Yeah.
For
you
sure.
Know what? You know what? Rick dies.
I would respect Family Guy a whole lot more if they kept Brian dead. When they killed Brian, I know that the Chicago dog was kind of like a lame replacement, but they shouldn't have even replaced him with another dog. They should have just been like, okay, well, he's dead now.
I just think they shouldn't have done that.
They kind of dug themselves a hole.
I don't like Family Guy was not that kind of show. Family Guy could not pull that kind of thing off.
But regardless of whether or not Rick and Morty didn't, Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon didn't know that they could pull off a second season.
Well,
but people liked it so much.
Rick and Morty is a much different show than Family Guy, and that's the first season. So it has a lot more freedom to explore what kind of show it was. Family Guy had been going on for, 10, 11 seasons, and then one day Seth MacFarlane and the writers were like, what if we kill Brian?
I feel like Family Guy kind of fucked itself by being that situational comedy show.
Just not being good for a while.
And that's why they decided to kill Brian, I think. But I would have respected them more if they had the balls. Because Seth MacFarlane isn't invested in that fucking show anymore.
Seth MacFarlane, I don't think is truly invested in anything he does.
Yeah, he doesn't give...
Except American Dad. I think American Dad's the only show that has any real effort in it.
It's quality.
And I love American Dad.
You said before that American Dad is like the only Seth MacFarlane show that keeps you laughing and stays fresh. I agree. Put on any episode of American Dad
just
for
the
me.
Introduction of an arena football team creates a wide variety of jokes that I love. All they got to do is talk about the Bazooka Sharks, and then someone rolls up, Bazooka Sharks! And then he yells back at them, yay!
It's hilarious. But Family Guy, like, as soon as he left the writer's room and left it to... And I'm not disparaging the writers. I mean, it's a hard job. Like, people say The Simpsons went downhill in later seasons. Family Guy, people say it went downhill in later seasons, and I can't disparage the writers.
I don't really see the time where Family Guy was uphill, though, is my problem. I think Family Guy's always been
meh.
Okay there was like one or two, like when they came back after that second cancellation, a lot of the episodes were pretty funny, and then it just went back to crap.
I think that
go ahead, sorry.
Back then there were more, and I think that's the caveat with I feel like that's the caveat with situational shows, is that all the character development that occurred X episode is going to be lost by next week.
Yeah.
Because what happens then, they're basically, situational comedies are basically in Groundhog's Day, where it's the same day over and over again until it's Christmas, New Year's, or Halloween.
I mean, you can kind of get away with that in a cartoon.
Well, yeah, in a cartoon.
But even The Simpsons has shown that there's only so much you can do doing that.
Let's look at regular show. That was on for a very, very long time. Situational.
Not a very long time.
It was on it started when I was 15, almost 10 years.
Regular? No.
Yes.
Regular show?
I was in high school, dude.
Okay.
I'm going to look it up right now.
No, because regular show started when I had graduated.
Okay, Google.
Like well after
regular
I had
show.
Graduated.
It caught the first part of your... So now it sounds like regular show? It's been going on since... Okay, well, son of a bitch. The first part of your sentence fucks that up. Regular show.
Like 2011, maybe.
6 years ago.
Ooh, I was right.
Oh, no. I was commenting on what you said. Go to more. I'm starting to do that a whole bunch. My dad does that. He sings little tunes to himself. Like,
You're on the computer, you gotta make the typing noise with your tongue. Stop it. I don't need you to narrate I don't need you to onomatopoeia your day for me.
It aired between 2010. Okay, so 7 years.
When did it end?
It ended this year.
Okay.
It ended this year.
7 years is...
But 7 years for a comedy
Go ahead. No, you're fine.
For a Comedy Central show,
Network.
for a Cartoon Network show is a long time.
No,
Adventure Time's been on for a long time. Regular show has, but anyway, my point is that regular show, situational show. They go, they have the classic 3-act storyboard-driven comedy show, and then
their formula never changes.
But then in the later seasons, they made overarching themes, where all of a sudden now the park is in space, and Pops. Have you seen the last season?
No.
And Pops does, and then so they made this overarching narrative that worked within the frame of their situational show. What Family Guy never did is have an overarching narrative besides Meg coming into her own sometimes.
I hated that fucking storyline so much.
But
that episode pissed me off because it was regular show always kind of had that heart to it. Family Guy never did. There was never an episode, even in the first season, where everybody tries to say it was good, even though it fucking wasn't. No one ever says any, like, there was never a single time where Family Guy had a real heart to it. Because Seth MacFarlane is not a genuinely, he doesn't give a shit.
Right.
I've never once gotten the feeling watching a Seth MacFarlane thing where he cares.
But he knows how to end every episode of, he knew how to end every episode of Family Guy, which the writers now know, where every episode of Family Guy is basically, oh, I'm Lois and I don't feel appreciated. And I don't feel appreciated by you, Peter. And then Peter being like, oh, well, then why should I be appreciative of you, Lois? And then by the end of the episode, they're both like, we were both underappreciative of either of us. And then Chris just jacks off and Meg cuts herself or something. And it's funny. Oh, funny, heartwarming,
and
whatever.
So when you do that fucking episode with Meg, where Meg goes on the tirade about how she's treated, it's too little too late.
Yeah, but it's not... They had a few Meg episodes where by the end of it, Peter,
Meg, I was wrong about you.
Wow, Meg, maybe I have treated you like shit. If Family Guy had the balls to keep an overarching narrative about anybody really, any kind of character growth at all, I'd respect it more. And now I'll put it on, it'll be on Adult Swim, a new episode or something, and I've come to terms with myself, with this aspect of myself, where I just have to sit back and laugh because it's stupid, because it's sophomoric humor. See, check this out. South Park. I think it would be better if it was like here, so that we both have a good line because it's directional.
Yeah.
South Park starts off as this situational show about kids saying fuck. And then all of a sudden, here we are. People have grown as characters. They've grown as characters. They've died as characters. Things are different in the show. Each season has an overarching narrative.
Right.
And they haven't had to change what they were doing. They still release episodes in 6 days or in 7 days. They still bust their asses on that. But it's fresh, it's new, it's exciting, and you have emotional episodes. Like when Stan, his parents are gonna get a divorce and he started drinking because of the Asperger's people.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, it's basically just a message from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, and he's like, maybe we'll get to explore something new. And good, we can't do the same thing, and maybe this person will be my best friend, or your adventures with Cartman, Kyle, are going to be awesome. And then when his parents come back, and Sharon says, I'm moving back in with your father, because sometimes you just got to stick to what you know. And Stan goes, no, but new adventures, leap into adventure. And then he wakes up the next morning to the Groundhog Day style kind of new radio show hosts, and he's about to leave because Kyle and Cartman, something crazy happened, and then he walks back to his dresser drawer and takes out that flask of whiskey and takes a little drink. That's like the death of Stan. At that moment was Matt Stone and Trey Parker, and if you notice, after that season they did change it. They made overarching themes.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Comedy Central probably gives their people a lot more freedom than Fox would.
Yeah, Good point. Good point. Well, who owns Comedy Central? Is it like
Viacom?
Viacom. Yeah, that's why I can't get them on PlayStation View. It pisses me off. New season of South Park September 21st. How about that? But anyway, back on. I don't know, man. There's not a lot of Fox shows that I enjoy, and I
think trying to appreciate Family Guy for something it's not is the problem.
Yeah.
Family Guy has never been a good cartoon.
Right.
It's always been a Simpsons clone.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been kind of funny sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think we want to pretend that there was a time where Family Guy was hilarious. No. Rewatch the old seasons. They are just Simpsons clones.
Yeah.
Every episode is a Simpsons clone.
Mm-hmm.
Family Guy, that's why American Dad is great. Because when American Dad first started, total Family Guy, Simpsons ripoff.
Yeah.
The minute American Dad started being its own thing, which Family Guy never did, still to this day, never does. Now it's just, fuck it. We're Family Guy, you're watching us, here's our shit.
I think I give all the credit for American Dad being great to their writing team.
Yeah, because it's not, Seth MacFarlane is not the writer of the show.
Because they're so imaginative. Even with dialogue. With Family Guy, it's like dialogue is repeated over and over and over again until you're so fucked up that you don't notice.
And then some retarded monkey was writing Cleveland Show.
Oh my god.
Some poor, unintelligent, illiterate person was like, "Okay, write Cleveland Show for us."
There are scenes in Cleveland Show that genuinely make me laugh. But then they just repeat jokes over and over and over and over again, and it's like, I get it. First of all, first episode of Cleveland Show, Cleveland meets Donna, wins her over. Second episode of Cleveland Show, he should have fucking left her because he hates that town, he hates her kids, and he hates everybody around him. Remember Terry? Cleveland's supposed best friend that appeared in one episode and maybe for 2 minutes throughout the whole rest of the show?
Yeah.
The blonde guy with the mustache?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened to him? They established him. They must have gotten a good writing team for the first episode, fired them all because they realized they were going to have to pay them too much, and then hired a bunch of college interns and were just like, hey, you guys smoke weed, right? And they were like, of course, we're interns in college. So and they were like, okay, go.
Is the title of this episode "We Hate Cartoons Part 2"?
Fucking might as well be at this point because I have another thing to go into. Our audio file is looking splendid.
Awesome.
Go back to the video file so it doesn't pause.
Okay.
It might as well be. I have another thing to get into. I think We Hate Pop Culture is good because I do, and I'll get into that in a little bit.
I don't hate pop culture. I hate aspects of pop culture.
I think that's more appropriate.
I'm way too ingrained into pop culture to say I hate it. Because if I hated it, I'd tune out.
But we hate aspects of pop culture is really long.
I hate fan theories. I hate fan service.
Yep.
I hate it.
Yep.
And that's why I'm not a huge Doctor Who fan anymore.
Okay, that's a good segue. Hold that thought.
We're not gonna. If this is us bitching about the female doctor,
no, I'm not. Absolutely not.
I'm not on that side.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm gonna say this right now. Love the female doctor.
Zero problems with it.
Zero problems with it. I hate fans, and
fans are garbage.
I am going to hold that thought for right now because that is going to be the
not
bulk.
You guys.
Not
you 13
not
people.
You fans.
Not you demographic. Our 18 to 24 female demographic and our India demographic.
The 3 guys who watched from India, that was fucking awesome.
You guys are the best.
And the 53% of males who are older. I think that demo on the analytics was like
love them.
It was like 25 to 30.
Love them.
They're great people. I feel like we'd be friends if we met in real life.
Totally.
I'd have a coffee with them.
But the rest of you guys can go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, other fans of other things suck.
Especially fans of other podcasts.
Other podcasts. So I think that Cleveland Show, I was going to say, has redeemable qualities to me in that every once in a while I feel like the sheepish smart guy in the room manages to get in a joke every now and then.
Family Guy manages to get a laugh out of me every now and then.
Absolutely. But Cleveland Show was like, I feel like, okay, so Seth MacFarlane didn't make that show. It was a Fox executive who came into the room and said, we need a new demographic. Let's make a show all about Cleveland. It was literally a Fox executive wanting to exploit the African American demographic. And
they didn't even do a good job of it.
They didn't do a good job by not hiring a single black person on the writing team, for God's sakes.
The fact that their main character, everybody knows, is voiced by a fucking white guy.
It was like each Cleveland Show episode was written by a 40-something-year-old or 50-something-year-old fogey who didn't know what pop culture was. So they make the Kanye West allegory, Kenny West?
Yeah.
His name's Kenny West. That's so lazy.
That fucking baby.
Rollo?
I hated that character.
Rollo?
Yeah.
I love Rollo.
No.
Oh.
That character was such a blatant Stewie knockoff. Like, this is our Stewie. I see that.
Yeah.
I see that he's your Stewie. Mm-hmm. He's fucking annoying.
He is annoying.
He's not fun. I do not laugh at a single thing he says. He is a terrible Stewie.
So I can see how he can be annoying. To me, his the way they make him makes me forget about how bad everything else is.
He is.
Yeah, how bad everything else is about the show. Whenever he's on, I'm like, hey, you're the guy.
The only character from Cleveland Show that makes me do that is the bear.
He is. I also like the bear. I also like the bear a whole lot.
I'm a sucker for him.
I also like the bear. Seth MacFarlane voiced him for an episode and then stopped.
Probably because Seth MacFarlane went, this is a bad television show.
So Rollo, I feel, is like the equivalent of, say you were on a podium and you were speaking, you were giving a speech and it wasn't going super well. Rollo is the equivalent of a guy like front flipping on stage while hitting a blowhorn just to distract the people and make them go, yeah!
They just don't. They don't do it well. They don't do that character well.
And then his best friend is a 70-year-old Jewish dude who's anti-Semitic.
I don't know. I'm so tired of talking about Seth MacFarlane.
It's the laziness of it. And then there's the people who, one of my a pet peeve of mine is arguing with people about Seth MacFarlane's validity. Because they want, like my friend Dylan, he wants to love every episode of Family Guy. And he wants to, and I can lay out all these things. The thing is that he's thought about people saying the things I say about Family Guy, so he has defenses for it. I can't fucking break that wall of Seth MacFarlane love. But I know he doesn't really like it. He can't really like it. He's too smart to like that bullshit drivel. American Dad, of course, love it, because Seth MacFarlane doesn't...
Can we go back to discussing the Hulk Hogan sex tape just to get away from Seth MacFarlane?
I'm gonna wrap it up with a little bow. Seth MacFarlane, yes, made Family Guy what it is. Yes, Ted is a funny movie.
It is.
I enjoy it.
I was surprised at how much I enjoyed Ted.
I love that movie.
Although, once you see it, you don't need to see it again.
You don't. Seth MacFarlane, beautiful voice. Oh my God. No, this is the old Family Guy. My redeemable quality of old Family Guy is that they put more than 2 seconds of work into the songs that they wrote.
Yeah.
The songs in old Family Guy are beautiful. Songs in new Family Guy are all chorus and bridge and then end a song. Oh my God. Ugh. Okay. Seth MacFarlane, creative mind. Sure. Kind of a cock. Remember when he had Quagmire rape Marge and kill all of the Simpsons?
Yeah.
And then in the DVD commentary, he's like, and it's bullshit that they wouldn't let me put that on network television. I was just making a jab at The Simpsons. The Simpsons can make fun of us. The Simpsons made satire of them. They had a plagiarist thing over.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah. And so Seth MacFarlane just thinks that gives him liberty to rape and murder a whole family of cartoons. What a dickhead, right?
Right.
Back to the thought I was holding. Hashtag honest tweet. Don't like Doctor Who.
Hashtag honest tweet. I did at one point. It's not a great show.
Fans ruined it for me.
Same.
And I was having a conversation with myself last night about it, right? Where because I read this comment on like some YouTube, and this guy was like, am I the only person who has never seen a second of Game of Thrones? Now that's fine.
Hashtag
that's fine.
honest tweet.
Uh-huh.
Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Like, you see those people who tweet about, I'm part of the 1% that has never seen Star Wars. And just shut up!
It's like, oh, you're so special.
No one fucking cares!
The fun thing, okay, the thing about that with me.
Full irony, since we're talking about how we don't like Princess Bride. And so, full irony in this episode.
Well, no, the thing is that when you say you haven't seen Princess Bride, you don't go, I have no interest in seeing Princess Bride. I don't want to see Princess Bride because it's not interesting to me.
I'm just not fucking tweeting about it.
If you were one of those people, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna make you watch it. But
like me and you with Big Trouble in Little China,
which I'm gonna.
No,
Caleb's coming over tonight. I will live. I will take pictures of it. I'll take pictures of me and Caleb reacting to it. Connor.
I've got so much doubt right now.
I need to repair this trust between us.
I knew you weren't gonna watch it.
I feel I did fail you.
I begged you to hang out with me and watch
Connor.
it with me. And you were like, no, I'll watch it when I get home. You're not gonna watch it.
I am.
No.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it.
Then watch it.
Okay, I will. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Then I don't need to talk about. I don't need to say I'm gonna anymore.
I'm gonna ask you tomorrow.
Okay.
You saw it? If I see the words no, God damn it.
That's twice. Then I would have disappointed you. Thrice. Was not a good band, were they?
No.
No, they weren't.
No.
So I read that comment on YouTube. That comment was fine. The one below it was a guy saying, I'm with you. It just doesn't interest me. And when people say that about a show, you know what? I love Game of Thrones.
Same.
If I say, did you see Game of Thrones last night to somebody, and they say, I haven't watched it, I don't plan on it. If they say, haven't watched it, don't plan on it, I'll say, cool, that's awesome. But as soon as they start saying, I don't watch it because I think it's dumb, and I think the premise is stupid, I say, but, oh yeah, totally. Why don't you tell me about how the characterization, how you don't like the characterization, because of course you would know that since you haven't watched a second of it, right?
Right.
That is a big pet peeve of mine. And so I had this conversation with myself, but then there's Doctor Who, okay? I'm a fan of many things. And not all Doctor Who fans are like this. Just like not all comic book fans. Just not all comic book, video game, movie fans. Not all of them are like this. But all the fans that I've met and I've been around are like this.
Yeah.
Where they just kind of jack the show off for it being... They put, especially Doctor Who though, because a lot of Game of Thrones fans around... They're like me. Well, they'll be like, you didn't see the show? That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care if you have.
No, yeah.
But Doctor Who fans put it on such this pedestal that, and I might be cynical.
I don't know how to, I liked the ideas presented in the reboot. I loved the backstory they gave the Doctor. So, okay, I'm going to go on a Doctor Who tangent.
Go ahead. I feel like I've been talking this whole time, so.
It's okay. I have literally, like, Seth MacFarlane's whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't give two shits about Family Guy. I don't give two shits about Cleveland Show.
Yeah.
American Dad is great. Who gives a shit about Seth MacFarlane? Anyway.
Hit that Dr. H button.
That Doctor Who button?
Yeah. I'm calling him Dr. H from now on.
So anyway, I loved the backstory they gave the new Doctor when they first rebooted the series back in 2005. I thought it was great. It had great character development. To stop a war, he blows up his planet.
Right.
And he's conflicted about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That is an amazing character right there. Just knowing that adds so much depth to whatever version of the Doctor you're playing. It adds depth to the Ninth Doctor, who's jaded and doesn't really give a shit about humanity for the most part. It adds to the 10th Doctor, who is now like, he loves humanity. He thinks they're amazing and he wants to help them out. It adds to the 11th Doctor, who's kind of like the boyish one of the three. It adds to the 12th Doctor. Well, hold on. So here's my rant. So in the 50th anniversary, they undo this amazing backstory. Then they just go, no, he saves his homeworld.
They retcon
Why?
it. They retcon it.
Why?
Like comic books.
Because, you know, nobody has to die. Fuck you! Fuck you, somebody has to die!
That's story structure, dude.
The only person in Game of Thrones who cannot die is Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Everybody else is fucking expendable.
Yeah, God kissed Jon Snow on the balls.
No, because he is the fucking hero of the fucking story, and if you kill him, that's a terrible fucking story.
Yeah.
Arya can die.
Uh-huh.
Sansa can die.
And both of them probably will.
Ned Stark can die.
Of course.
Fucking Daenerys can die. She probably won't.
Uh-huh.
I mean, how do you write that? Ugh.
You write it in like this. Daenerys dies. Addendum, call the riot police because we're going to have a shitstorm on our hands.
And see, that's why I don't like Walking Dead, is because all of those goddamn characters can die.
I wish Rick...
I don't give a fuck about anybody in The Walking Dead.
I wish Rick would have died in episode 2. However, in the comic books,
Ugh.
I enjoyed the comic books for what they were. I think we said this on episode 4 of the podcast, not the one that was released, the one before.
Yeah.
I think we said that Walking Dead almost has this formula down where the first 2 episodes of any season is good and then the rest of them are shit.
No. Walking Dead has way more bad episodes than good episodes.
Absolutely.
And every time there's a good episode, people are like, oh man, Walking Dead is... And then it's 10 episodes of shit.
It breaks the internet like a Kim K butt.
I do not like The Walking Dead, and Robert Kirkman talking shit about George R.R. Martin all of the time just makes me dislike it even more.
What's Robert Kirkman saying?
Because George R.R. Martin doesn't give a fuck, and he goes, yeah, I'm going to let this television show tell my story for me.
Well, first of all, I'd go up to Robert Kirkman and be like, how long have you been writing? And I'd be like, you can trace George R.R. Martin's work for a few decades. He has been writing for most of his life now.
So anyway...
Doctor Who.
So Doctor Who...
retcons the whole thing.
And it's just... Because it's a show that shouldn't be a children's show. But it's a children's show. Therefore, all of these cool ideas that they display, they have to undo in the last 5 fucking minutes of the hour television show. They'll go, oh man, everybody's gonna die. Oh, Doctor saved him, no one dies. Yay!
Just kidding.
Oh god, we did it!
Do you know what show kills people? Adventure Time.
Adventure Time!
Adventure Time, for God's sakes.
Billy's dead.
Yeah.
Billy is dead.
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
He was corrupted, possessed, killed.
The Lich killed Billy.
Yeah. There's a whole story. Oh, dude. People die in that fucking show, alright?
And that show is amazing!
And it's also for kids.
Yeah!
Sure, it's PG, rated PG, but...
No, I think it's Y7.
It's PG. They changed the rating.
Oh!
It's PG along with Steven Universe and regular show.
That's cool.
Yeah. They had to up it because they were like... Because he was too successful. Cartoon Network knows their demographic now.
Cartoon Network's always kind of known their demographic.
Yeah.
there was a brief, like we talked about this in one of our podcasts.
Totally.
There was a brief period of time where Cartoon Network had shit.
Yeah.
But Cartoon Network usually knows who they're trying to attract. Nickelodeon is the company that struggles with that.
If you want 20-somethings to watch your shows, go the Cartoon Network
If we're
route.
talking Nickelodeon, and I talked about this last night, and this will go into Nickelodeon. So I'm a huge fan of hip hop. And I love talking about hip hop.
Yeah.
And when somebody talks about like 21 Pilots being their favorite rap group, like calling them the best rapper of all time, like they're the best rappers of all time, it infuriates me because that's dismissing the entire history of hip hop.
Yeah.
So when we talk, so if I get into a conversation about anime and someone has the fucking gall to go, Avatar's the only anime I like. 1, it's not fucking anime.
Yeah.
2, that's the best anime of all time? This thing that's not fucking anime?
Whenever someone says that, I feel...
And I love
like,
Avatar.
I also love Avatar, but I feel like they've only watched Avatar and haven't given any other shows a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's Avatar of shows that are in the style of Japanese animation.
Because it's not a fucking anime.
It's in the style. It might be in my like top 5
I would put
stylized.
I would put it in a top 15 cartoons of all time.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Yeah. And I think instead of calling it anime, I would just say it's stylized.
I would just call it a
Yeah.
cartoon because it has that style, but so does the Batman
Yeah.
from
Oh,
Kids
God.
WB. Would you call the Batman stylized?
Some people, yes, but some people would also call it anime probably.
And
they're wrong.
Fucking wrong.
Or Samurai Jack is a stylized cartoon.
Yeah, or fucking Afro Samurai.
Oh yeah, Afro Samurai is good as
Would you
fuck.
call the Boondocks an anime?
No, but it's stylized
Yeah.
in Japanese animation. I feel like these people who are calling Avatar an anime are really need to like open a dictionary and kind of
I mean, like an
research
opinion
that
is
stuff.
an opinion.
Right.
But you need to do your fucking homework if you're going to throw around claims about something being the best.
Because it does detract from everything else.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, so who's another, in the vein of hip hop, who's another hip hop artist that, like, that is recent?
How the fuck?
Flowbots?
No. Flowbots is like, no. How the fuck can you say Macklemore is the greatest rapper of all time when you consider how long hip hop's been around?
Yeah.
He raps about real things. What?
What real things?
The things.
Going to the thrift store?
Everything every other rapper raps about forever. he raps about how drugs killed his family, his friends, and you know how it's tough growing up. Yeah, so did every other rapper.
You'd be right. You would be absolutely right about that.
Ignorant.
It is very ignorant. I'm gonna say this right now.
My favorite rapper, I would not call the best rapper of all time.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Slug.
Yeah, Atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's real
And
good,
he's
man.
not the best rapper of all time. He wouldn't call himself the best rapper of all time.
I-
I'm not saying Macklemore would call himself the best rapper of all time, but I don't even think Atmosphere fans would call Slug the best rapper of all time.
Right.
Because you're going against people like Tupac
Yeah.
and Biggie.
Yeah. I love Black Thought from The Roots.
Yeah.
I think so
good.
I think he's one of my favorite. The Roots in general is I think my favorite hip hop band.
Or Talib Kweli from Black Star.
Yeah.
And Mos Def. I love Mos Def.
Yeah, okay. Mos Def, one of my favorite performances of him, might be surprising, but his performance with Kanye West on the Chappelle Show, when they do the food.
Yeah,
love
or he's in Dave Chappelle's Block Party, which is a great, amazing documentary.
What a great artist he is. Acting, music, art probably. Haven't looked it up.
Anyway, so
yeah.
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's fun. But
Yeah.
fun is not quality. Fun is fun.
I'm gonna pose this. I'm gonna pose this question to you.
Yeah.
You see an anime fan on the street.
Right.
They like Naruto. They don't tell you that, but you know because they're wearing a ninja headband somewhere on their body. What's the face you make? Okay. That's the face I make when somebody comes up to me and is like, "Look at my sonic screwdriver." Beep, beep.
It's the face my mom made when I saw her copy of Ghost in the Shell, the Scarlett Johansson movie. Because I would not have expected to see that at my mom's house. So I asked her, I was like, "Mom, so what did you think of Ghost in the Shell?"
That's
Yeah, and I told her, like, "Yeah, no, I pretty much expected that from you."
and so this brings me to that point of fans. Fans ruin shit for me.
Oh man, fans
Because
are the worst.
Exactly what you said. You said this yesterday too, where someone keeps telling you to watch something, and eventually you're like, okay, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, the only two things that's ever happened where I'm like, I know I need to watch it was Mad Max Fury Road. Because I knew it. Everyone told me I needed to see it. I'm like, I know I need to see it. And then I saw it and it was amazing.
Right.
And Logan.
Yeah.
Which is not as good as The Dark Knight, but The Dark Knight's amazing.
People hate The Dark Knight.
Fuck those people.
I agree. I like The Dark Knight.
There's literally nothing wrong with The Dark Knight.
I like Dark Knight Rises. I love Bane.
The more I love Bane.
Uh-huh.
But the more I think about The Dark Knight Rises, the less I like it.
That it takes like a thermonuclear warhead to kill Batman, but he doesn't even die.
It's just so extreme.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's name is Robin. That's his last name.
And then someone said it's the Simpsons movie. And I went, oh crap, it is.
It kind of is, yeah.
It is. It's not even kind of.
Wow. I never thought about it that way.
Oh yeah, no. Someone like cracked.com, I think,
Yeah.
pointed out the similarities. I was like, shit.
That's crazy.
No, I really can't watch that movie.
Wow.
And also, I mean, my other thing is, this is a city in America being taken over by terrorists, and the U.S. government's like, Gotham, you're on your own. That's not America.
They don't even send the fucking National Guard over
He
there.
keeps killing all of these military guys, and he's got a weapon, and you're on your own, Gotham.
We can't. So I guess we're just gonna have to annex Gotham.
Gotham's and that movie's too long. Everybody says The Dark Knight's too long. No, Dark Knight Rises is too long.
It's very long.
I think I got home at 4 from the midnight screening.
Yeah.
Like,
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's only like a 10-minute drive from my house to the theater.
Right.
So it's not like I had to drive back from the theater and that took some time. It was, no, I got home at 4 because that movie ended at like 3:35.
Yeah.
That's a long fucking movie.
Ugh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that took so long. It didn't even have like any like intermission or.
No.
It's just a long. It's a 3-hour long movie.
It's a 3-hour fucking long movie. Comic book movies should not be 3 hours long.
No, they shouldn't. They stretched it with The Watchmen, for God's sake.
Oh, God, that movie.
So fans to me, and again, I feel like I need to say this because there are a lot of people out there that like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I am not disparaging against you personally or all Doctor Who fans.
It's just some of your kind.
It's that the fans that I have met, and this is a big pet peeve of mine. It's something that I talked about earlier today. It's when someone, in fact, on the ride over here, I was talking about it. It's when someone comes up to you and all they are is a walking encyclopedia of quotes from things.
Yeah.
Or a walking it's almost like being a monosyllabic person, like someone who only uses like one syllable words.
Yeah.
Except with a show where they focus on one facet.
Like, I'm not going to talk about wrestling unless it's brought up.
Right. It's where these fans talk about one facet of a show that has more than one facet. They're going up to you and they're one long IMDb trivia of something. People.
Sounds like
He who shall not be named.
Sounds like a certain lead in a musical I wrote.
That's exactly what I wanted to talk about. He's a perfect example. where
Oh, they're a he?
where they are a perfect
He's
example.
not watching this. I don't give a shit.
He doesn't give a shit either.
All he had to do was learn his fucking dances.
We were at a rehearsal. We were talking about the recent episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
During rehearsal. And we were stoked, and we were talking about it, and then he comes in, and he just quotes the Hound for like 5 minutes.
Just that one fucking line.
Just the one line.
Just that one fucking line.
And that's what pissed me off. That used to be one of my favorite scenes. Wait, which line was it?
I don't want to repeat it because I don't want to give him the dignity.
I know, but I can. Was it
It's during the battle scene.
Oh, fuck your water, give me wine.
No, where he talks about, and it's funny because this guy wanted you to know how hetero he was, so the fact that this is his favorite line is hilarious.
Oh, fucks him in the ass?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I remember that one. Okay, well then never mind. My thing is totally moot now. I was gonna say he ruined one scene for me, but I feel like I misremembered the quote he was doing.
No, I remember because I fixated my dislike of this guy.
Anyway, he is the perfect example of a fan. And he's a Game of Thrones fan.
No, he's not a Game of Thrones fan.
Well, and he was a fan of that one line in Game of Thrones. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not disparaging against all fans. Fans like him. Doctor Who, okay, I watched and...
No, I got an example.
Yes.
If we're going that route.
Yeah, yes, please, continue.
Queen fans. Like, Queen fans. Mm-hmm. But they only know Bohemian Rhapsody or Somebody to Love.
Yeah.
Or... fucking Monty Python fans, but the only quote they do is your mother smelled of your father was a hamster.
And your mother smelled of elderberries.
There are so many lines in that movie that are a million times funnier than that fucking line.
I was gonna bring that up because of the Doctor Who. Keep going though. I understand that though.
There's so many better lines in that fucking movie.
It reminds me every time somebody says that line. It reminds me of
you can't talk about Holy Grail without that is literally the first fucking quote they put.
It reminds me of theater class in high school whenever I hear that line. And not only that, there's more Monty Python movies that they probably haven't watched.
Oh, man.
Life of Brian.
Life of Brian's amazing.
Meaning of Life.
Meaning of Life is not amazing.
I love Meaning of Life.
Meaning of Life is interesting.
I'll say Meaning of Life might be my favorite Python movie.
I'm not surprised that you would say that.
I'm saying that
but
now.
I'm skeptical about that.
Part 2.
I feel like you're being...
killing each other.
I feel like you're trying to be...
contrarian?
Yes.
I am a little bit.
I know. I'm like, there's... Compared to Holy Grail and Life of Brian, there's no way Meaning of Life is your favorite. Because it's the weakest of the three.
Might be my favorite. The sketch, because it is just a compilation of sketches.
Yeah.
The sketch I think is my least favorite in that movie is the every sperm is sacred, every sperm. But then they fix that at the end of the sketch with oh fuck, why am I spacing on his name? Why am I spacing on clean shaven Brian?
God damn it, now I'm spacing. You son of a bitch, I knew it.
Oh,
Graham
Chapman.
Graham Chapman. Yes.
Graham Chapman sitting across from his wife, and he's
the
like,
Protestant thing.
And we're Protestant. I can wrap up my willy in anything we want.
Oh, why don't
French ticklers.
That'd be nice.
Well, I could. Anytime I could walk down to the shop and say, Jerry, get me a French tickler. I love it.
There are things about Meaning of Life I liked.
Uh-huh.
But for the most part, it was just kind of... It's not Life of Brian, where I am dying.
Life of Brian.
Like when
is
John
very
Cleese
funny.
is like reprimanding Graham Chapman for his bad Latin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he's that's one of my favorite
Like
parts.
that. Like everybody does the fuck off line. I'm like, oh, that scene's way funnier.
Or Biggest Dickus.
Biggest Dickus. Or Eric Idle wanting to be a woman.
Oh yeah, I love it.
What's the point?
What
do you mean? What's the point of supporting his want to have babies if he can't have babies? It's and
then they do the whole thing. So okay.
Or since we're talking about fans who don't really like, I mean, it's arrogant of us to attack people for calling themselves fans of things, but only being like surface level fans.
Yeah. Oh wait. Another good Life of Brian moment is the fucking old guy who's like in that hole, and
Yeah.
Brian fucking he's like, you fuck
But
me.
he's the Messiah. No, he's not. He's a very naughty boy.
He's a very naughty boy. I'm talking about like the blind guy. I'm
He has
pretty
a wife,
sure.
you know,
Oh my god.
Intercontinentia.
Intercontinentia
buttocks.
buttocks. Oh yeah.
You laugh when I say biggest, dickest.
I love it when they call him when he says Brian.
Brian.
Holy shit. Nothing for some reason that makes me laugh so fucking hard when I don't know why. They mastered that kind of like cuz it's real subtle.
Yeah.
The guy just calling him Brian, but it's just so silly. It's so silly. Anyway, arrogance because of the
I mean, because I don't want to make anybody feel bad for not diving deep into the things they're supposedly fans of.
Of course, I don't have a superiority complex, you know, like I wouldn't know that Quentin Tarantino's movies were in the same universe if it weren't for Cracked. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, I don't...
Well, that's a fan theory thing.
But it's, like, confirmed by him.
It's like I don't think he's ever confirmed or denied. It's just he's also heavily not denied.
Yeah, that nerd-ass motherfucker, of course all of his shit's in the same universe,
Yeah,
God's
but
sakes.
but again, he hasn't really again.
Do you know what he has confirmed?
What?
Is that Django is Shaft's great-grandfather.
I think he just wants to believe that.
Of course he
'Cause
does,
there's
because he's
no-
Quentin Tarantino.
Because he did not write Shaft, so he does not get to claim that.
He doesn't own the rights to Shaft.
He does not get to claim that shit.
But I agree, though.
Because we don't want our podcast to be overwhelmingly negative.
Yeah, I'm not, again...
Because then I'll start talking about bronies, and I will not stop.
Yeah, again, I have said... I'm not disparaging against all fans of things. It's just that the fans that I've met, and I've been guilty of being that fan. Of course I've been guilty of being that fan. If somebody comes up to me and says, I hate animes for children, I'll go, what?
No, I feel you.
And I'll go in depth and...
Like when people
on.
tell me professional wrestling is fake. I don't get, offended. It's just, I don't let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to sit down and watch Lost because it's real. And I only want to watch real things.
Right.
Because that's what's important in life.
Yeah, I don't want escapism in any of my shows or
What?
movies.
What? Finding Nemo is not a documentary?
Fish don't talk. Fish drivel. Yeah, it's about the escapism of it. Of course, you get home from a long day of work, you want to fucking chill and watch something that'll make you forget about it for a bit.
I only like real things. That's why I can't get into D&D. I have to use my imagination.
But and everybody's been guilty of being that fan for some kind of fandom, right?
Yeah.
However, the whole I think this is more of a PSA. We're saying
Don't be a dick.
don't be that fan. If I say, because the way, and it's do as I say, not as I do, because of course when anime's brought up, or any anime really, I'm gonna defend it like that kind of fan. But if someone comes up to you and says, I haven't seen the show and I don't plan on watching it,
Why are you talking to me then?
just let that be that.
Yeah.
Like if a friend of yours comes up to you and says, I've never watched Game of Thrones, I don't plan on watching it, I'll say, that's cool, man.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead, you know?
Kind of weird that you're telling me that.
I
but
mean,
yeah.
well, I mean, it's like probably if I asked them if they saw the last episode or something. Or like, I haven't watched Rick and Morty, I don't plan on it. I'd be like, cool,
Yeah.
you know? Be that kind of fan.
Yeah.
Love what you love, but don't be so pushy because you might end up turning somebody off from the whole fucking thing.
Right.
Doctor Who is special in my mind, though, however, because in the old show, I've watched a few episodes of the old show, but my favorite one is the Doctor is fighting like some mannequin people, and he gets like anti-plastic. I love it. Doctor Who back then didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they had to make up for their lack of money with good writing, with fun, creative writing. Turns out the guy who wrote the Anti-Plastic episode was the guy who did Hitchhiker's Guide, the original radio play.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, duh, I like this episode because that guy's a good writer. So they had good writers writing a good show. Now that Doctor Who has all the money in the world because everybody watches it apparently, I think there's no excuse for shoddy writing. Here's an example from about 2 weeks ago. And I don't know which doctor it was or whatever the hell. I think his companion had red hair or something.
The 11th Doctor.
Okay, and so it was this episode where it started out super cool. It got my hopes up a whole lot, right?
What's the episode? Because I feel like I'm about to bitch about the same episode.
Okay, well, it was it starts off with a bunch of kids in like this school that's underground, and I guess this one kid fucks up, class ends, and he goes up to this, you know, those like animatronic fortune teller machines that you pay a quarter into?
Yeah.
And then they like send the kid to hell.
It's not the episode I was thinking of, but I know which
saw
episode
that.
you're talking about.
I saw that first part, and I was like, this is creepy and awesome, right? And then opening credits roll, then the Doctor with his companion opens up the TARDIS doors and looks out, and I think that this companion should be a critic of the show, because she goes, how are we breathing? And he goes, now this is a conundrum for me, okay? This is gonna sound weird. He says, oh, I just extended the TARDIS's oxygen field to like just here. As soon as he said that, I turned off the TV, I went into my room, and I yelled and screamed because it ruined the episode. I was like, that's bullshit. It's lazy writing. Do you know what I would have accepted, though? I would have accepted him saying, things are just different in the TARDIS. Because as someone who loves high fantasy and sci-fi, that's usually all the explanation I need.
It's like the Metachlorians thing.
Yeah, you didn't need to explain it. It just is. And I would have been so happy if the Doctor would have just been like, the TARDIS works different. Maybe he extended a force field or something, but the TARDIS just works different.
No, I got you.
And so high fantasy sci-fi people, they're not asking for much. You can introduce something like that and just explain it away by saying it just is.
Right, no, I feel you.
And it won't detract from the rest of the episode, right? But the writers were so lazy that they made the Doctor say, I don't know, there's oxygen in the TARDIS, I just put it out there now.
Yeah, fuck it.
And also, this is a little indiscretion here, a little sticking in my craw. Remember that was supposed to be my thing?
Yeah, that's your catchphrase.
That's my catchphrase. The thing that stuck in my craw.
Okay, don't kill the catchphrase.
Okay.
Don't
upset me?
have a cow man the catchphrase.
The thing that's really...
you said it. Just move on.
Just
say it. Just say it.
What really upset me was that oh shit! I catchphrased the thought right out of my fucking head. No. Okay, yeah. What bugged me is that isn't the gimmick that the TARDIS never works? So what? This doctor just knows the oxygen extending button? Like there was a note there for him when he got the TARDIS that was just like, hey, this is the thing that makes oxygen outside of the TARDIS in space. You're going to need this later. Right?
I don't know, man.
Right?
There's
nice continuity.
Jimmy Neutron didn't even explain it.
They didn't need to. Jimmy, they're kids and kids can breathe in space.
Apparently.
Fuck it. What was the Doctor Who episode you were talking about?
No, it's not.
I want to know.
Okay, it was this episode where it had a really great setup. Mm-hmm. And it's basically like, we're going to kill everybody on the Earth. There's nothing you can do about it. Ha, ha, ha. And then literally like 3 minutes before the credits, the Doctor just goes, did it, fixed it.
Oh.
57 minutes of the most intense, like, oh man, how are they going to get out of this? And then did it. Motherfucker. I was pissed.
Do you know what I'm starting to think?
Huh?
that it might not be as good as everyone tells me it is.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think that's the general theme of this
That's
episode.
the consensus of it.
Is things aren't as good as people think they are. Except Game of Thrones.
And anime.
And our podcast.
And our podcast.
And my podcast.
And his podcast and Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop is the best anime of all time.
And Rush.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait. I have a couple, before we wrap it up, let me check the time. We're doing good. I have just a few things to say, to close, this argument. It's to sum it all up. Not all fans are like this.
Yeah, no. We don't want to be talking shit.
Of course. But in this internet age, the anonymity of it allows you to
Ennui, repertoire,
anonymity, aunt,
stick in my craw,
what's other ones?
gets my girder,
Rebuttal, maybe.
Ooh,
That's
no.
a pretty. That I feel like that
rebuttal's not a.
That's
no.
common. That's common.
Yeah,
That's real common.
boo.
Sanguine.
Repertoire. We already said that
So
one.
we said repertoire.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that anonymity on the internet allows people to not only express themselves in great ways and create fan theories that I enjoy to humor because they're using their imagination, and that's cool to me. Not only allow them to make cool things out of their fandom, but to also over-glorify things to a point where I think all humbleness is thrown out the window.
Right.
Because, as you know, every fandom thinks that their fandom is the best fandom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it ends up becoming so toxic. Like, I love Rush. I love Rush. However, anytime I say I like Rush and someone says I hate Rush, I go, you know what? I can't blame you for it. I can see why you don't like them. They're different. They're weird. Just like when I say I like, what's a show that I like that you don't like?
I don't know. Name an anime.
Or a movie. I'm sure there's a
Oh
movie.
man, I think there was I know there was a movie that you liked that I really just did not like.
Or that was it Rubber? I don't think it was Rubber because you haven't seen it.
When you showed me Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, Requiem for a Dream.
I just did not have the heart to tell you that I did not like that movie.
When people say they don't like it, I say I understand.
I did
That's
not
fine.
like that movie.
But when people, and again, not just Dr. H fans who are going to get mad at me for calling him Dr. H, not just them, but fans of anything, just be a decent... There's a little snuggly cat over there, and I'm fixated on her. Just be a decent person and say, if you know,
there are ways to get people to like what you like. Just don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, I mean, my God, you don't have to go on tirades about it and shit. I mean, I think that's all I have to really say about fandoms. And what about you? You anything else?
No, basically everything you said. But bronies, you did not wait 2 seconds before you started fucking horses.
He's right, you know. He's right, you know.
I'm not wrong.
He's not.
Not every brony, but enough bronies get off on this shit.
And before any brony starts writing in the comments right now,
You can't look up a My Little Pony Friendship is Magic character on Google without immediately getting some fucked up porn on it. You guys are sick.
You want me to test that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna test that right fucking
There are
now,
some
dude.
sick motherfuckers in that fandom. Like some disgusting people.
Okay, Google. Pinkie Pie. Let's see how long it takes to scroll. I feel...
Do you have your safe image?
Safe search?
Yeah.
Hold on. No. We're gonna get there, man. It's gonna be... It's not gonna take long, I guarantee you that.
We'll cut this.
No, there's one. She's covered in shit in this one. That's someone who drew her covered in shit. So I guess that's like scat, right?
Oh God.
I guess that's scat. Here's some of her just eating shit. Oh my God.
This is not riveting podcast.
Oh my God. Okay, no. It took 4 scrolls to get to the porn.
Yeah.
It got 4 scrolls to get to the scat. So you're not wrong. And before any brony starts wanting to type in the comments, I love you guys. I actually love bronies. I think they're delightful people. I think they're delightful people.
They call masturbating clopping.
However, you are right. Much like most of the internet, didn't wait 2 seconds to sexualize something.
Did not.
Didn't.
Especially horses. Ah.
Especially horses.
Ah.
Some people, oh my God, how about those furry Nazis I sent you last night?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All
it.
right.
I'm gonna go out on this though. This is really funny actually.
Okay.
I just learned something last night. I'm fucking dead serious about this because I know you're not gonna believe me. You know the Allman Brothers?
Yeah.
Did you know I've been calling them the Almond Boys my whole life?
I believe it.
My
brother thought the song "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree" was "Walking Around the Christmas Tree," and I thought that song "Taxi Cab" or whatever, that Counting Crows song.
Yeah.
I thought they said "fucking light" instead of "parking light."
There's oh shit, now that he's been dead and he's only had 2 good songs, who's that old guy? David Bowie.
Whoa.
So
2 good
hold
songs.
on.
Okay.
I retract that statement.
Yeah.
2 good song. So he and I love this one because people on the internet and YouTube have fucking I'm not crazy anymore because under pressure, pushing down on me, pushing down on you, you're an asshole. It sounds like you're an asshole, right? I thought that my whole life, and I thought I was crazy until the Game Grumps said you're an asshole. Tell me, what do you see? Yeah! Hey there, look at that knee. Oh, at the library, such a good song.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for watching for Cruelty Free Comedy. I'm Charlie.
I'm Connor.
And have a lovely day.
Have a lovely day.